Welcome. Sit back, get comfy, and let's get to it. Sit at My Grave, Season 5. Ugly. Chapter 1. How I act towards you? I supported you. I was there at your little acts at school. You walked out on my concert. I didn't want you there. Things were bad enough. You being there just made it worse. The glares at each other tensed, both teetering just at the edge. Old memories flooded in, daring each other to push past the line. You didn't want me there? He scoffed. He fished the crumpled evidence out of his pocket, prepared to call his bluff. Why did you invite me to your graduation then? Questioned. His face pulled into a smug grin, seeing the anger still at his brother's features. Surely he'd caught him. You really think I'd invite you? The question held venom, pulling its target down with every dagger in his tone. He stepped closer to his brother, having to look up to meet his eyes, refusing to back down. You're more of an idiot than I originally thought you were. I didn't want you there in the past, and I don't want you here now. Mom invited you. She probably invited you to every other event because it sure wasn't me. The bitter words hung there as they stood in the dark together, the storm around them picking up gently. He was taken aback. The fighting had been there for a while, sometimes serious, other times it just felt like their relationship. Ribbing, picking at each other, nothing meant to last. And never for a second did he think they weren't glad to be in each other's lives. They were friends from day one, and nothing could change that. The invitation was slowly crumpled back into his hand as he bit his tongue silently. You know what, Arden? I've done a lot. Other people have done a lot for you. You need to realize everything doesn't revolve around you. There's so much more happening than you know. Stop being a brat and stop feeling so sorry for yourself all the time. Wow, what an eloquent speaker. How ironic. All he does is make so-called poetry writing music. That's the best he could do. Confrontations like these were never his style, though. Arden scoffed with a shrug. The way he eyed Reed after his little speech showed him he did hit a nerve. Was it enough to really make him listen? Not by a long shot. If you'd stop being so full of yourself, maybe you could acknowledge the world around you. Reed finished his rant. Thunder boomed straight up. Neither brother flinched. Reed was used to loud noises, and Arden had been taught to be by the very man he was aiming to hurt. Don't worry about me or how I see the world. I don't need to hear any of that from you. Arden spoke up. He wiped the rain from his face, trying to keep the contact with his brother. He felt his heart pick up. I didn't need you before. I don't need you at graduation, and I don't want you in my life. He screamed in his face, his body shaking with the force of his words. Reed didn't move back, not even an inch. He let the proclamation linger in the air, watching his younger brother. But all Arden seemed to do was glare at him, the words slowly solidifying. They always fought. This wasn't different. Everything would go back to the way it always was. Fighting didn't mean they weren't brothers. Reed approached Arden closer, closing whatever gap they had. Arden was still huffing. Whole face was scrunched up into a frown. Reed could feel a laugh bubbling in his chest. Maybe it was all serious and he shouldn't, but either way, what was there to do? He lifted his middle finger, placing it so close to his younger brother's forehead he was almost touching it. He didn't like it when things started to feel so serious, so consequential. The anger melted into pure confusion. He had no reason to flinch with his brother's hand being so close to his face. Left him in a hurried state of pondering. Soon his eyes narrowed, his teeth gritted behind his lip, his body getting rigidly stiff, hands balling into fists at his side as the disgusted scowl took over his expression. Reed had mere seconds to smirk. Arden was about to flip him off, insult him. They'd go back to exchanging stupid name-calling and be done with acting so tense. Reed's eyes squinted, barely flinching before it was too late. The impact came fast and hard. Arden had reared back and slammed the full brunt of his hand into him, catching him by surprise. His head whipped to one side. The smirk that was climbing his face quickly replaced by a look of shock as spit flew out of his mouth. Arden almost fell from how hard he swung. He stumbled, standing back straight, breathing hard, his own hand slightly throbbing. Now he just stood there, staring at his brother, unsure if he should continue screaming. Maybe the hit said everything after years. It was an uncomfortable stance, unsure, but still writhing. Reed felt the wash of heat across his face, the stinking on his cheek as it gently changed its hue. His eyes blurred briefly as he stared, angled at the wet ground. His words caught in his throat. He couldn't focus on one thing. Frown, laugh it off, continue the conversation. His hand tensed, wanting to grab at his face. Instead, he turned to that side and walked off. Not once did he hear Arden calling him back. Only the sound of rain as it drizzled down. He walked to his car, waiting a few extra seconds. The thought battered at him. He felt Arden's stare burning at his back as he refused to move. The car door was closed, and soon their home was growing distant as he drove away. Now out of sight, Reed put one hand to his stinging face, the other steered his car down the street.